Hey, so let's talk about something. When you get a new smart device, a camera, a router, whatever, have you ever thought about it like you're hiring a new employee? Seriously. You wouldn't just give a new hire the keys to the building without some training, would you? Of course not. Well, that exact same training process for your new digital employee, that's what we call device hardening. So let's dive in and make sure your new gadget is actually trustworthy.
So, that brings us to the big question, right? You just pulled that shiny new device out of the box. Is it a loyal security guard ready to protect your network? Or is it basically a corporate spy, just waiting to leave the front door wide open for anybody? Believe it or not, the answer really comes down to a few simple steps you take in that very first hour. And look, this isn't just some theoretical what-if scenario. You might remember the Mirai Botnet. This was a massive, real-world cyber attack. Hackers took control of millions of IoT devices. We're talking cameras, routers, the whole 9 yards. And they did it just by using the factory default usernames and passwords. It's a huge, scary lesson in why this stuff actually matters.
Which, of course, brings us to the very first, most critical rule of onboarding your new device. You gotta kill the default password. Think of it like this. Your new employee shows up with a temporary paper ID that says employee. Your job is to immediately rip that up and issue them a unique, high-security biometric key card. This is absolutely non-negotiable.
I mean, just look at the difference here. A password like camera1. A computer can guess that in, less than a second. It's nothing. But something like traffic_cam_NW, you see that mix of symbols, numbers, and cases? It would literally take a computer centuries to crack that. It's the difference between putting a screen door on a bank vault and, well, an actual bank vault door.
So the rules are pretty simple. Make it at least 12 characters long. Mix it all up, uppercase, lowercase, numbers, symbols, and this is so important. Every single device, every single website needs its own unique password. Do not reuse them. And for heaven's sake, don't write them on a sticky note. Get a good encrypted password manager. It'll change your life.
Okay, so our new digital employee has a secure ID. Fantastic. The next part of their training is to teach them the rules of the building. See, by default, these devices are designed to be friendly and easy to connect to. But what that really means is they leave a bunch of digital doors and windows wide open. Our job is to go around and slam them all shut.
First on our list is something security pros call the silent killer, UPnP, or Universal Plug and Play. It's all about convenience. It automatically punches holes in your network's defenses so your new device can easily talk to the outside world. It's kind of like your new employee propping the fire escape door open with a brick so anyone can just wander in. You have to disable this feature, not just on the device, but on your router too.
Next up, Telnet and SSH. You can think of these as secret maintenance tunnels built for developers. They're useful for tech support, sure, but for the rest of us, they're just unguarded backdoors. Hackers are constantly scanning the internet for these open ports, that's ports 22 and 23, looking for an easy way in to inject their nasty code. So unless you're a developer or on the phone with support, just shut them down.
And then you've got P2P Cloud Services. This is the magic that lets you scan a QR code with your phone and boom, you're instantly looking through your new camera. It's super convenient, but it works by sending your private video feed through the manufacturer's servers, which could be anywhere in the world. It's like mailing a secret file by having it pass through a dozen random strangers' hands, just hoping nobody takes a peek. For anything important, that's a risk you just don't want to take. Turn it off.
All right, our new employee has a solid badge, and they know the house rules. But guess what? The world outside is always changing, and so are the threats. This next step is like giving them mandatory, ongoing security training to make sure they're always ready for the latest tricks the bad guys are using.
Let's talk about speed for a second. 72 hours, that's the number to remember. From the moment a big new security flaw is announced, you have about 72 hours before automated hacking tools start scanning the entire internet looking for devices that haven't been fixed yet. It is a flat-out race against the clock, and you have to win.
And the way you win that race is with firmware updates. These updates are what patch those dangerous security holes. In the industry, they have a name for them, CVEs, which stands for Common Vulnerabilities and Exposures. Honestly, keeping your firmware updated is one of the single most effective things you can do to stay safe.
So, we've come to the final, most advanced security check. This is the big one. This is like putting a huge, no-nonsense bouncer at the front door of your network. Nobody, and I mean nobody, gets in unless their name is on the list and they have a legit ID.
So this bouncer's name is 802.1x. Here's how it works. A device tries to plug into the network. The switch, which is like the network's traffic cop, immediately stops it and says, "Hold on, show me your ID." The device then has to show a special digital certificate, kind of like a digital passport. If the ID checks out, the port opens up. If it's some random hacker's laptop, nope, that port stays completely dead.
Now, you might have heard of something called MAC filtering. You can think of that as the poor man's bouncer. All it does is check a device's name tag, its MAC address. The problem is, any decent hacker can easily fake a name tag. It's called spoofing, and walk right past. But 802.1x, it uses those powerful digital certificates that are almost impossible to fake. It's the difference between a bouncer glancing at a scribbled name tag versus scanning a high-tech, government-issued passport. No contest.
So let's run through that onboarding checklist one last time. Step 1, kill the default password the second you turn it on. Step 2, shut down all those open windows like UPnP, Telnet, and P2P. Step 3, patch the firmware within that 72-hour window. And finally, for the ultimate lockdown, get that 802.1x bouncer on your network ports.
And that really brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. We focused a lot on cameras and routers, but just take a second and look around your own space. What about your smart speakers, your TV, your printer, heck, even a smart thermostat or a baby monitor? Which of those have you actually onboarded properly, and which ones are still sitting there with their temporary paper ID just waiting for their security training?